Hi, my name is Alfred, and in this video we're going to talk about using photography as a tool for architectural preservation. The reason for doing this is twofold. One is to preserve a building for posterity, and the second one is as a reference gathering tool for 3D modeling. We're going to focus on the latter. So to do this sort of job, to be honest, you could use your mobile phone and take photographs using that. But the better way to do it is using one of these, a digital camera. And the reason why you'd want to do this is because they have bigger sensors and they'll allow you to be able to capture even more detail than you would with your smartphone. So let's go on set and find a building to document. We need to capture these images as fast as possible, so quickly we will move to the long side of the building, and then we'll try to shoot from approximately the same distance as we shot the original images. What this means is that for the longer side, you will need to shoot several images to capture the whole side of the building. While doing this, try to ensure that you leave room for overlap between the images. Why? Because in post-production, we will try to stitch these images together, and Photoshop needs about 20 to 30% overlap to be able to do a good job of stitching the images. In addition, you'll need to capture several textures for reference. To do this, make sure that you avoid shooting under direct sunlight and try to capture these textures by pointing your camera perpendicularly to the surface that's being captured. Once we are done, then it's time to organize these images in post-production. So now the images have been downloaded and we're going to place them into folders. I have a little plan of the building, so I'm going to start with folder number 1, and I'm going to drag these two images inside of that first folder. So I create a new folder, call it number 1, and I'm going to move these images inside that folder. And then I'm going to create another folder. I'm going to call it number 2. And this is a sequence of images. So I'm going to select them all at once and drop them inside that folder. So for folder number 3, we had an abstraction. So we had this kiosk and this booth obstructing the side of the building. So I took several shots. I took a close-up of the window, and I tried to capture the whole side of the building. So we move these into folder number 3. I need to create a new folder first and call it folder number 4. And then I'm going to grab these and place them inside of folder number 4. So this is done for the benefit of whomever you're working with. In some cases, you'll be working with modelers or a team of modelers who are not at the same location as where you're collecting this information from. So it's always good to have a plan. So next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to assemble some of these images that I took in sequence. And to do that, I'm going to use Photoshop. So I'm going to select all of them at once, and I will open them in Photoshop. So once that's done, I'll go into File, and then choose Automate, and then choose Photo Merge. And this is going to bring up a dialog box. And I'm going to choose Automatic, and I'm going to add all open files. And then I'm going to choose Blend Images Together, Vignette Removal, Geometric Distortion, as well as Content-Aware Fill Transparent Areas. What that's going to do is going to fill in the blanks once it merges the images. And then I'm going to choose OK. And all we have to do is wait for Photoshop to work its magic. And once it's done, then all we have to do is make sure that we crop this image slightly. So I'm going to use the straighten command to help us to crop and straighten this image automatically. So I'll just go from one side of the corner of the building to the other. And there's a little bit of distortion, but we're going to leave that for now. And once it's done, I'm going to flatten this image. So I go to choose layer and I choose flatten image. And then we save this as a JPEG. And we call this number 2. Going to go for maximum quality. And it's saved. So I would do this for the other side of the building as well. I'll try and combine all the images into one, because this will make life much easier for the 3D modeler to understand the geography of the building. So that's been a look at how to use photography as a tool for architectural preservation.